Welcome to the course on stochastic modeling and queuing theory. In this lecture, we will look at what are called as the birth-death processes. Birth-death stochastic processes find wide application in modeling many physical phenomena. It has applications in science, engineering, biological phenomena, social phenomena, and then also in financial systems. So let's consider a system whose state space at any given time is represented by a number, a non-negative number, which may represent the number of entities in the system, number of individuals in the system, or number of customers in the more familiar case of the queuing system. Here the number is a non-negative integer valued 1. In general, it can increase or decrease, and the state space is therefore from 0, 1, 2 up to infinity. That is, it is countably infinite system. So suppose we have got a system where these entities or the individuals arrive to the system based on a Poisson stochastic process with a rate lambda. Then we know that the probability that there will be one arrival in a very small time interval h is proportional to that rate lambda, and the probability is lambda times h. No arrival is 1 minus lambda h. More than one arrival, the probability will tend to 0 as the interval size tends to 0. So here is a case where the arrival rate is fixed. Now we will generalize the concept and look at the systems where the arrivals and later on the departures also are state dependent. That is, the arrival rates are not constant, but they are in turn dependent upon the number of entities in the systems or the state. Similarly, the departures may also be dependent upon the number of entities in the system. So we have a case of a state dependent arrival and departure. Suppose there are n entities in the system, the new arrivals enter the system at an exponential rate, let us say, but the rate is dependent upon n, so we will denote it as lambda. Similarly, entities leave the system. Again, we assume that the rate is exponential in nature, but only difference is that the rate is state dependent or it is a function of n. We denote it as mu n. So this is the case where if there are n customers, if you consider a queuing system where there are n customers in the system, then the time for the next arrival will be exponentially distributed with a mean 1 over lambda. Similarly, the time until the next departure takes place is also exponentially distributed with a mean 1 over mu n. So the inter-arrival times are state dependent, inter-departure times are state dependent. This is the first sort of a generalization to the state independent arrival and departure rates as we encountered in the queuing system. Such systems are called as the birth-death process. The parameters will then be state dependent. It will be lambda n. So for n varying from 0 to infinity, we have the rate lambda 0, lambda 1, and so on. Similarly, mu n dependent upon n, but n will vary from 1 to infinity, because if there are no entities in the system, there cannot be any departure. So obviously mu 0 is equal to 0. We will not even mention it. So mu n for n equal to 1 to infinity, or both these has to be specified. So this is the first step of generalization of an arrival departure process, and we will call it as the birth and death process. Arrivals is analogous to the birth process. Departure is otherwise be viewed as a debt, wherein the number of entities decreases. In the context of the queuing system, we can also look at naturally such generalization occurring. Suppose we have got a server. The server will tend to serve faster whenever the queue length is moved, because server will be inclined to reduce the queue length. Therefore, the service rate may be hiked based on the number of customers in the system. And so the service rate is here state dependent. Similarly, if you look at the arrival of customers, if the queue has a large number of customers, then customers don't tend to join the queue. Okay, so in that manner, queues having large queue length will have less arrival rate, because they know that the response time, the time they have to spend in the queuing system, will be large. So naturally, in a real world queuing system, the arrival rate and departure rate will be state dependent. And this state dependent arrival and departure also finds in other cases, as we will. So in the case of the birth-death process, you'll see that it is a continuous time Markov chain. It is still Markov because once the state n is being reached, the future evolutions as how the system will evolve to n plus 1 or n minus 1 are dependent only upon the present state and not on how the state is reached. Therefore, the Markovian property still holds. Then the state can, if you look at the discretize the time and look at it at small time steps, then state can only move to near neighbor values. That is, it can increase by 1 or decrease by 1. Therefore, we view it as a birth-death process. So state n can go to n minus 1 or n. Let's look at some applications of this birth-death process. So it is widely applied for modeling the evolution of population in a biological species. That is why indeed the name birth-death comes. So if you have a population of certain species, let us say a population of antelope, tiger in a forest, or even a plant species, then the birth rate will depend upon the current population. More the population, more the birth rate will be. Again, the death rate will also be dependent upon the population. More population means more competition for different aspects like getting food, establishing the territory, and also for other rare resources on which the population depends upon, and so on. So here the state dependent birth and death rate comes with picture. Of course, in queuing system, birth-death process, generalized birth-death process with state dependent arrival and departure rates has been motivated by me. Growth of chemical substances, as in chemical reaction, also plays a role, because the rate at which reactants join to form products depends upon the number of molecules of the reactants. Nuclear reaction is again an example, because each nuclear particles, alpha particles, or the particles that come out of an fission can in turn trigger more such reactions. Spreading of rumors in a social system. Any good news or bad news that spreads in a social system, or spreading of diseases in an epidemiological model, can all be modeled using birth-death process. Growth of cancer cells is another example. or even in financial sectors, that is the evolution of the customer base, which are all customers for a given brand, can also be viewed as a birth-death process. Because by a word of mouth, if the popularity of a brand grows, then the growth is dependent upon the current customer base. And so now let us look at various specialized classifications of the birth-death process and look at one by one. We will start off with a case where there is only a birth process that is occurring, no deaths occur, and further we will call it as a pure birth process. So here the population can only grow. There is no physical phenomenon that gives rise to death of the individuals or entities. Few more examples for the pure birth process will be the number of the way the growth of the avalanche effect where avalanche occurs due to snow, or the growth of the number of electrons in an avalanche diode. So where each electron gives rise to more electrons, or the growth of photons in a laser phenomenon, and so on. So here only birth takes place. We know that in the case of Poisson process, if there is a parameter lambda, then the distribution, probability distribution governing the number of events that can occur in a small interval h can be approximated as follows. Capital N of t indicates the number of arrivals or the count at the time t, starting from a time 0 when the count is 0. So probability of n of t plus h minus n of t is the number of arrivals in a small interval h of size duration h. For that number to be equal to small n, we have this following formula. We will use a shorthand notation as small p subscript n of h to denote the probability of n arrivals in a duration h. So h stands for the duration, the subscript stands for the number of arrivals. So for n equal to 1, that is one arrival, the probability is lambda h plus order. So it is linearly proportional to h, proportionality constant is lambda, the rate, the error is order h. Probability of no arrival, n equal to 0, is 1 minus lambda h plus order h. For more than one arrival, it's all order. So here lambda is a constant, but in general lambda need not be a constant. We can assume lambda to be a function of n or t or both. If it is a function of n, then it is a state dependent arrival. We have motivated how that can arrive. It can also be dependent upon t. There will be seasonal effect. The population may grow under certain seasons. Okay. For example, if the monsoon is good, then the population grows. There may be external factors apart from the number of induced species in the number of individuals in the species, which may govern the growth rate and the extinction rate. For example, if there is an epidemic, then there may be more death. Death rate may be dependent upon that. Famine and so on. Okay. Or birth rate may be dependent upon certain seasons. So the number of arrivals in the interval t to t plus h depends on t. Then we know that the process is a time homogeneous. In case if it is a time, if it is dependent upon t, then it is not a homogeneous process, the time inhomogeneous process. If it is independent of t, then it is a time homogeneous process. Let's stick to a case where we deal only with time homogeneous process. but the arrival and departure rates are state dependent. That is why we will denote it as lambda n for as the arrival rate. It's not a function of t. So the probability of n arrivals in the interval 0 to t plus h can now be written in the following manner. So probability that the number of arrivals in the interval 0 to t plus h to be equal to n, which we will write it in a shorthand notation of p subscript n t plus h, can be arrived at due to one or more of the following mutually exclusive events. One, there can be all n arrivals in the interval 0 to t and no arrivals in the interval t to t plus h, or there can be one arrival in n minus 1 arrivals in 0 to t and 1 in t to t plus h, or n minus 2 in 0 to t and 2 in t to t plus h, and so on. We already know that arrival of more than 2 entities in the interval h are all going to be order h. So all those events, their probabilities are 0 order h. So these are mutually exclusive events, then their probabilities can be added up. And further we know that probability due to the non-overlapping interval of time and due to the independent increment nature of the Poisson process, number of arrivals in 0 to t and number of arrivals in t to t plus h are independent of each other, so their probabilities can be multiplied. Therefore, we get for this event probability to be Pn of t, n arrivals in a time 0 to t and no arrivals in t to t plus h, which is 1 minus lambda nh. This is very similar to the way we have derived the Poisson PMF, but only thing is here lambda is a function of n, so we have indicated as lambda. And the probability of n minus 1 events in 0 to t is p n minus 1 of t, and one event in t to t plus h is lambda n minus 1 h plus order. So that is, it's important to know that the rate is lambda n minus, because till at time t there are only n minus 1 event of occurs, the population size is n minus 1, therefore the rate is lambda n minus 1, and the interval is of size h, so it is lambda n minus 1 h plus order h plus many other order h terms are there. Now we can rewrite it multiplying these. We have got Pn of t minus lambda n Pn of t h plus order h and so on. Taking Pn of t to the other end, we will have Pn of t plus h minus Pn of t is equal to minus lambda n h Pn of t, and here lambda n minus 1 h Pn minus 1 of t plus order h. Now we will divide both the left hand side and right hand side by h and take the limit h tends to 0. We have limit h tends to 0 Pn t plus h minus Pn t by h equal to here minus lambda n Pn of t, h goes away, gets cancelled, minus plus lambda n minus 1 into Pn minus 1 of t plus order h by h. Again here also we have to take the limit h tends to 0, then this vanishes and this can be written as Pn dash of t, which is nothing but the derivative of Pn of t with respect to t. Therefore Pn dash of t is minus lambda n Pn of t plus lambda n minus 1 Pn minus 1 of t. So we have got a differential equation for Pn of t, but this is valid only for n greater than or equal to 0. Greater than 0 to be precise. In the case of n is equal to 0, you will see that for n is equal to 0, there is nothing like lambda minus 1. Okay, the rate is not defined, for the population cannot become minus 1. So this factor itself is not defined. So for n equal to 0, we have got p0 dash of t is equal to minus lambda 0 p0, because the rate at which p0 can increase depends upon the is lambda 0 and the current probability p0. So now we will introduce a process called as the Joule-Ferry process, which is a pure birth process with a linear birth rate. So now, under the broad category of birth rate process, we are only considering the pure birth process where there is no death. Further, we are going to consider that the birth rate is a linear function of n. That is, lambda n is n times lambda, where lambda is constant. In general, lambda n can be any function of n. It can be n squared, term may be there, n cube, or anything like that. But we will now consider a case where the birth rates are linear in. Again, this is a very good way of modeling, because the number of the birth rate is linearly proportional to the number of individuals in the system. The way in which the growth of some cells may obey these conditions, and so on. So substituting lambda n in the previous differential equation for the pure birth process, only thing is the rate is linear. Then we will have Pn dash of t is equal to, in place of lambda n, we will put it as n lambda minus n lambda Pn of t plus n minus 1 into lambda into Pn minus 1 of t. So now we can interpret it as follows. Pn dash of t is the rate at which Pn increases, rate of increase of P. This is increase in Pn can be of two things: total incoming probability to n and total outgoing probability from n. So this is equal to minus n lambda Pn. This is the factor which will make the population to decrease from n to n minus 1. So it is the rate at which we leave system state n, and this is the rate at which we come from n minus 1 to n. So n minus 1 lambda Pn minus 1 of t. So this is what we get. Okay. We know that for the case of P0 of t, we will have here lambda 0 P0 of t, but lambda 0 is, as you meant, 0 times lambda, so it is 0. So this is one thing we get. And in the case of P1 of t, we can derive it will be e power of minus lambda t. So here we have a case where when there are initially 0 entities at the time t is equal to 0, there can be no growth in the population, because the growth rate is 0, and therefore the population cannot grow. And in steady state, the probability that there are 0 entities in the population is 1. Okay, and P1, P2 are all 0. So this is a trivial conclusion that we arrive at. So, and the population can only grow, it cannot decrease. So we will start off with some initial population and then look at how it grows. So without loss of generality, we can take a case where the initial population size is 1. Then growth can occur. So we take the non-trivial case where we have got initially 1 entity. And of course, there are certain cases like biological systems, a population of 1 can also not lead to a growth, okay, because of the sexual reproduction. But right now we are not modeling like that. We will assume that each individual through splitting or through some other means can give rise to more individuals. Even in chemical reaction, we need mostly two reactants in order for the reaction to occur. So we will see that we will start off with one entity. So P1 at the time t is equal to 0 is 1. That forms the initial condition. If we solve for this, you will see that population keeps on going. So at t is equal to infinity, Pi will be equal to 0 for all I not equal to 1. So for all I to be correct, because P1, P2, everything will, the probability will vanish, population will keep on increasing. So this is a case where the population grows forever. There is no steady state. In the sense, there is no steady state probability. So therefore, the only meaningful thing that we can look is for the transient condition, or how the population evolves, or the time dependent solution. So we will take a case for n is equal to 2. So from the Joule-Ferry process, the ordinary differential equation governing the probability mass functions for a Joule-Ferry process, that is a pure birth process with a linear birth rate, for the case n is equal to 2, is given by P2 dash of t is equal to minus 2 times lambda P2 of t plus 1 times lambda into P1 of t. Okay. So we can rewrite it as P2 dash of t plus 2 lambda P2 of t is equal to lambda into P1 of t. And lambda into P1 of t is e power of minus lambda t. So if you substitute it, this is what we need to solve. So to solve it, we use the method of integrating factor. We will see that this factor e power of 2 lambda t can be used as an integrating factor. What we have to simply do is we multiply this equation by this integrating factor. If we do so, e power of 2 lambda t into P2 dash of t plus 2 lambda e power of 2 lambda t P2 of t plus lambda e power of minus lambda t e power of 2 lambda t. Once we do this, then the left hand side becomes a derivative. Okay, it is a differential of this term e power of 2 lambda t P2 of t. We can easily see that one, because if you differentiate it, if you differentiate this first e power of 2 lambda t, you get 2 lambda e power of 2 lambda t P2 of t. Next, if you differentiate with respect to P2, you get e power of 2 lambda to P2 dash of t. So this is what we get. On the right hand side, we get lambda e power of lambda. So on integrating both sides, we get e power of 2 lambda t P2 of t is equal to integral lambda e power of lambda tau d tau. So that is nothing but e power of lambda t plus a constant. You will see that you can take lambda outside. This will give e power of lambda tau by lambda. So it is just e power of lambda t. Okay. So to get P2 of t, we divide it by this factor e power of minus 2 lambda t plus is what we get. So if you assume that at the time t is equal to 0, there are no customers in the system, P2 of t is equal to 0. Okay. That is, we had initially one customer, but the probability of 2 customers at the time 0 is 0. We had strictly one customer in the system. With this initial condition for the differential equation of, this is the initial condition for the differential equation of P2 of t. you will see that if you substitute 0, you will get P2 of t is equal to, here we have to substitute t is equal to 0. We will see that this becomes 1, this becomes 1 plus c, c will be equal to minus 1. Substituting minus 1 here, the solution becomes this. Again, on multiplying, we get e power of minus lambda t into 1 minus e power of minus lambda t. This is what will be P2 of t. So we can go further and solve for P3 of t and so on, but we can easily generalize it, and it will turn out that Pn of t will be e power of minus lambda t into 1 minus e power of minus lambda t whole power n minus. So this is what the solution will turn out to be. So we can see that the distribution follows a geometric distribution with the parameter e power of minus lambda t. Okay, that is, this is the failure probability, this is the success probability. It is n minus 1 failure followed by s. In a similar manner this happens. So hence the expected number of customers in the system or entities in this population at a given time can be found to be the expectation of a geometrically distributed random variable. If this is the probability of success, then the expected value is 1 over p success. So e power of nt is 1 over e power of minus lambda t. So it is just e power of lambda t. So what we see is the number of customers at any given time t, average number or the expected number, okay, is exponentially rising, and it is time dependent and it increases exponentially. So this is what we see how the pure birth death process will work. So for a linear birth rate pure birth process, which we will call it as the Joule-Furry process, the number of customers in the system or the entities in the population grows linearly. There is no stationary distribution. Then we will modify this pure birth process with one more phenomenon called as the immigration. That is, we have a population in a given geographical region which is growing on its own without any death linearly. In addition, some more entities from outside join that population. Okay. Such a phenomenon where additional entities join is called as the immigration. Such processes occur naturally in the study of the biological reproduction and the population. So here each individual is assumed to give rise to another individual, or with a birth rate, each individual can give rise to another entity, okay, in a given interval with a particular rate lambda. And because there are n such individuals at a time t, the overall rate at which population grows is lambda times n. In addition, we will assume that there is an exponential rate of increase gamma due to the case of immigration. Again, this gamma that comes basically because of this factor. Always the immigration keeps on occurring, therefore that is why we say it is exponential, but this factor is now time dependent, but there is a gamma, where gamma is the immigration rate. So where does it occur? For example, we have always witnessed that in a growing country there is a migration of migrant laborers from rural areas to urban areas like a metropolitan city in search of jobs. So this is an immigration phenomenon occurring. Or skilled laborers immigrate to advanced economies in search of better prospects or better standard of living. So This is what again we will look into. Similarly, there can be immigration of migratory birds to a particular ecosystem when it is very conducive for growth. So all these leads to the immigration. Now we will model a pure birth process with an immigration, which is time independent immigration. Then the total birth rate, where there are n entities or persons in the system, is given by n lambda plus gamma. Okay, it is n times lambda because it is proportional to the current population size with a constant rate. So Pn of t plus h can now be written as follows. We can write down the equation governing Pn of t plus h and then use it to set up a differential equation in a manner which we have already seen. So Pn at the time t plus h is, these are the different cases that can occur. We can directly write down the equation without even considering the various mutually exclusive events and so on. N, this population with n, size n at the time t, and no more increase in the population due to birth or due to immigration. So now that is the change that you have to do. That is, there are already the population is n at the time t and no birth, that is 1 minus n lambda h plus order h, and no immigration, 1 minus gamma h plus order h, plus there is n minus 1 population size at the time t. Then there can be one birth with no immigration or one immigration with no birth. Okay, of course we can write these two things. Okay, that is what here we have, that is one birth, n lambda h plus order h into 1 minus gamma h plus order h, or Pn minus 1 t into 0 birth, 1 minus n lambda h plus order h, and to 1 immigration, gamma h plus order h. Or we can say n minus 2 population at the time t and 1 birth and 1 immigration, because those all will be order h terms, so we will neglect it. Now again we can set up the equation by bringing Pn of t to the other end, dividing the whole thing by h, taking the limit h tends to 0. So Pn of t plus h minus Pn of t by h equal to Pn of t here into minus n lambda minus gamma. We have taken all terms which are okay, we have the terms which are linear in h, and therefore on dividing by h, that h goes plus order h by h. Similarly here we will see Pn minus 1 of t into the linear terms is that is minus gamma plus n minus 1 lambda, that is the one. Here again h has been cancelled out, plus order. So taking this limit, we will now have Pn dash of t equal to Pn of t into minus n lambda minus gamma plus Pn minus 1 of t into gamma plus n minus 1 into lambda. With more experience, you can straight away write this equation, because the rate at which the population at the time t, Pn of t increases, will be negative the rate of decrease from n. From Pn of t, any birth or any immigration will change the value of Pn of t. So that is why we have got minus n lambda minus gamma. Those factors that lead to population going to n, it can occur only from n minus 1, that is this rate, n minus 1 lambda plus gamma. Note carefully, n minus 1 occurs, not n. So then we can solve this equations to get the growth of population in the case of the pure birth process with immigration. Then we will look at the case of the birth rate process. So here we have got birth as well as death taking place. Let us assume that to begin with, the birth rate is linear in nature. The death rate is also linear in nature. So this is very similar to the MM1Q formulation. So but only thing is it's a state dependent arrival and departure. So probability that there are n births in the interval t to t plus h can be written as lambda nh plus order h for n equal to 1 minus lambda nh plus order h plus n is equal to 0. Only thing is the arrival rate are state dependent, therefore lambda n. It is order h for n greater than 1. With regard to the death or departures of customers, probability of n death taking place in this one is, as h tends to 0, only one death or no death can occur. That is lambda nh plus order h for n equal to 1 minus lambda nh plus order h plus n is equal to 0. Probability of more than one deaths are improbable. Hence, the birth rate process can be similar to the MM1 process with only state dependent arrival and survival rate. We will use the notation Aij to be the probability that there are I births and j deaths in an interval t to t plus. So as the process is time homogeneous, so t is not going to play any role here. So A00 indicates that there are 0 births and 0 deaths in an interval of size h at the time t. So we have to multiply this factor with this factor. 1 minus lambda nh plus order h into 1 minus mu nh plus order h. For 0, 1, no birth, 1 death. It is 1 minus lambda nh plus order h into mu nh plus order h. A10 is 1 birth and 0 death, lambda nh plus order h, that is this factor, and 1 minus mu nh plus order h. And A11, 1 birth and 1 death, is multiplication of these two factors, lambda nh plus order h, mu nh plus order h, which itself you can see they will have an h square term, therefore its order. We can see that A02, A20, okay, A34, all are order h terms, therefore we totally neglect them. With these, we can set up the differential equation. Pn dash of t is equal to Pn minus 1 of t into lambda n minus 1. That is, this is a birth at n minus 1 leading to Pn, or a death at n plus 1 leading to n, that is Pn plus 1 into mu n of h. And these are the one which decreases Pn, minus of either a birth or a death at Pn, at n, minus of lambda n plus mu n into Pn of t. So the corresponding Markov chain will look as follows. From n minus 1, we have got lambda n minus 1 as the rate at which we go from n minus 1 to n. Here it is lambda n, whereas from n to n minus 1 it is mu n, n plus 1 to n it is mu n plus 1. So this process is called as the general birth-death process. We can have many categories of it. If mu n is 0 for all n, there is no death taking place. The birth-death process becomes a pure death process because there is no death or no services in the case of queuing system. If lambda n is lambda, which is a constant for all n, further this birth rate becomes constant birth rate, as in the case of the Poisson arrival process. So here we can call it as an immigration. Why we call it as immigration? Because population adds up at a constant rate. So rather than calling it as a birth, it is an immigration. If a birth process is linear and immigration also occurs, then lambda n is n lambda plus gamma, which you have already seen. Similarly, if the departure rate is constant, then you have got a constant death rate 1. Again, instead of calling it as a death, here customers leave from the queuing system, or the population slowly, people leave out of it. That is called as the emigration. So the case where mu n is equal to mu is called as the emigration. And a case where mu n is n times mu is a case of a linear death rate. Then if there is emigration as well as linear death rate, then mu n becomes n mu plus beta. So in the case where there is a birth, linear birth rate, linear death rate, immigration as well as emigration, the corresponding differential equation can be shown to be as follows. You can easily derive it or even write it out of your own experience of setting up the differential equation for the birth process. P n dash of t is P n minus 1 of t. From n minus 1, how we can move on to n? It is due to the linear birth or immigration. That is n minus 1 lambda plus gamma. Or from n plus 1, we can move to n due to a linear death or emigration. That is n plus 1 into mu plus beta. Or n itself can lead to n minus 1 or n plus 1, either due to birth or death or immigration or emigration. So that again with a minus sign you have to put, because all this factor will decrease, this decrease n. P n dash of t is the rate at which n increases. So this will reduce n. So it is minus n into lambda plus mu. N lambda is the birth rate, n mu is the death rate, gamma plus beta are the immigration and emigration rate into P n of t. So these are the various ways in which we can analyze the birth rate process, set up the differential equation, solve it, and look at how the population increases or decreases and so on. A related process is called as the branching process, and one of the things that will be interested in the case of the base of population growth is the probability of extinction. Is there a possibility that the population dies out? That is, the size becomes 0 and hence there is no further birth. Of course, even when the population is 0, if there is immigration, population can come back. Okay. So, but the probability of extinction is an important and interesting quantity to be derived up. So with this, we will stop our discussion on the